Hello, it's Scott Manley here, and today I'm actually going to take a look at a board game. Yeah, very strange, but I do actually like to play lots of board games, and I've just backed this particular one on Kickstarter, so I thought I would share it with you. It's called Deep Space D-6, and it is a solitaire board game. For those people that don't want to sit around playing with their phones when they're on their own, they could play a board game for one person. This one has you rolling dice and using them to fend off threats coming from the threat deck here. You might face off against Corsairs or interceptors or have to deal with meteoroids. You might have the comms going offline and need engineers to work on things before the commanders can send their messages. Or you might simply have crew getting distracted. This is your spaceship here. Basically, you assign the crew to this to actually make them do things. And yeah, you basically roll the dice and they come up with different roles. This is the commander, tactical officer, the medic, the scientist, the engineer, and the scanner. If the scanner person is not a good thing, because that will eventually cause more threats to appear. So this is actually a reissue. The original Kickstarter did quite well. The current one is up to like $160,000. It sold a lot of copies, and so the developer is going to bundle in a whole bunch of new features. But this version I am playing in Tabletop Simulator is the free print and play version that was made available before the original Kickstarter. So I'm not taking a game and emulating it inside the game, inside of Tabletop Simulator. This is something that is kind of free as far as I can tell. So yeah, let's make this happen. This is the deck. We flip it over, shuffle the deck, and the first thing you do is you roll your dice. And the main reason you do this is because you want to see if you accidentally end up with 3 of these guys. And I do, but I can then assign my medic and he gets returns. Or she gets returns. So, okay, nothing to happen on the first turn, but a new threat appears. It is an assault cruiser. It appears on my scanner, and I roll the dice and it says 4, which does not match the 1 or 2, so I am all right for now. So we get back to my second turn. Get to take my dice, get to roll the dice, and we got to deal with the assault cruiser. Now what we really want is tactical officers. We can assign tactical officers to fire the weapons, and I do 1 point of damage for the first one and 2 for every second one. The other thing that happens is we get one of these scanners, and I'm going to put my dude in the infirmary to bring him back, so he'll be okay. I can use my commander to flip one of these over, and what I'll do is I'll flip this to tactical officer so that he can fire back, and that'll do 3 points of damage. And finally, this one here, this spaceship has a stasis beam, which means I can drop the scientist on top of the assault cruiser and it won't do any damage. So my tactical officers do 3 points of damage, and when I roll this dice, it will not do any damage to me, which is good. So I'm successfully dealing with this threat. But on the scanner, the raiders appear. Roll the dice to see what happens, and I get a 5. So we are okay right now. Let's get the dice out here, and we're ready to go again one more time. So the boxed version of the game, the production quality is pretty high, I'm going to say. It comes with multiple other spacecraft, to be clear. It also comes with an expansion for something called the Ouroboros and the Endless. Okay, I'm going to move this. Hold on. Ah, there. It's tactical. Okay, so we get a scan. We don't have any way to fix that. We have a tactical officer. We have a tactical officer. And between that, that's 3 points of damage. So both of these are off the map. We don't have anything we can do with the other ones because there's no threats that need them. But the new threat that appears is the Corsair. We roll this and it's a 1, so we're okay. So grab these back. Roll them. And we want to get this dude out of here quickly. Oh no! Okay, so as soon as you roll them, these crew get assigned here. And that means we now have a new threat jumping on top of us. We have invaders inside the spaceship. We need 2 tactical officers to deal with that. Well, at least we get these 3 dice back. So do I put one... So the options are... I don't know. I guess I'm just going to assign him to attack the Corsair for now. Because if we get that out the way, that should... well, we'll knock 1 point off. But roll the dice, see what... Oh, before I roll the dice, I gotta take a second threat this turn. So now we have a bomber. Oh, man. So yeah, we rolled a 2. And that means that somebody gets it put in the infirmary. So that means he is now injured and cannot help me in the next round. So let's roll the dice and see what happens. So, you know, this could be quite entertaining. I mean, it may be hard to watch this, but I'm definitely, you know, feeling a real connection to these crew members, as cubic as they are. So first thing, we get that. Second, we get a medic. So I'm going to use a medic to pull him out of the infirmary. Or should I pull that one out there? Oh, so many questions. We have a scientist. I think the scientist... Well, we could... The other thing we could do is we could flip them both over to tactical and we could get these guys out of the infirmary. That might be the better option, right? Let's do that instead, right? We have him in the infirmary. So I can use his command. I can put him in there and I can flip him over to be tactical. So he's going to deal with that one. And again, this commander goes to the bridge and says, hey, we need more tactical officers. And we say, Roger! And the invaders get repelled. But unfortunately, we still have 2 spacecraft out there to deal with. So what happens when we roll the dice? Oh, well, actually, first thing is we flip this and we get more space pirates. So now we're really starting to get the threats showing up against us. Roll. And we get a 4. That means we take 2 hull and somebody gets sent to the infirmary. Oh, ow. We're really starting to run out of working crew here. So a total of 3 hull damage gets taken. That's off my shields. So we only get 3 functional crew right now. Oh, I keep pressing F instead of... Oh, man. Okay. Well, definitely he goes in there, but I pull him out. Because that's the best I can do. We have a tactical officer. Might as well get that Corsair off the map. And now we have a new threat to deal with. We have raiders! Oh my gosh, they're all just coming at us. So we have 3 crew here ready to roll their dice. And another one of these. Oh man. Oh dear, I really need medics. I really need medics. Okay, you are getting ordered to become a medic. There you go. Return all units from the infirmary. Yes. Okay, so we get 2 units back. That is good, good, good. So, and then the commander, of course, is on the bridge. But these ones are up here. These are threatening. Oh, wrong button. Oh, I shuffled my deck again. Did not mean to do that. Friendly fire! All tactical. Go to the infirmary and then discard. Now roll the dice. And we get more damage from the space pirates and a bomber. Back into the infirmary. He's straight out and then we get whacked. Oh man, so now we take point of damage there, 2 points of damage onto the hull, and we are starting to get in some serious trouble here. We have 3 dice left. And we'll see what happens here. Roll the dice. And we get a tactical officer, which is good. And I guess what I should do is put him to recharge all my shields. So he's going to recharge all my shields, and the engineer is going to repair the hull by 1 point. And then we're going to take another threat card because that's what happens every turn. And then we roll the dice. Please don't get a 3. Okay. Wow! 5 doesn't give me any damage at all. So all these people are able to come out and roll and get to work. Ah! But. We get a complete scan now. So the complete scan means at least I get 3 of my dice back. but it does mean we have a new threat on deck. But it says, don't panic, nothing happens. Okay, well, best option, I guess, is to bring this last unit back from the infirmary. And since all he can do is repair hull, he'll repair my hull back up to full power. And now we get a new threat. More raiders! Oh, man, Raider Nation is not where I want to be right now. Come on, give me a 5. Oh, 4. Okay, so once again, 1, 2, 3. Oh, and these ignore shields. What the heck? So, okay, so let's do the damage in order. 2 damage to the shields. 1 person goes to the infirmary, and then 4 damage to the hull. Crikey. Crikey. So let's roll these. Roll the bones! Okay, crew. We're going to do some serious damage to these things. 1, 2. And Commander is going to command one of these scientists to become a tactical officer, because we just want to clear the deck of these things. So that gives me enough to... Should I get rid of the bomber? Or should I focus on these things? I think I'm going to focus on the bombers. This is 5 points of damage. So I'm going to take the bomber out of commission. I'm going to take the raiders out of commission. And... oh yes, this last one. So I could either put this last one to use the stasis beam, but I think it's probably better to assign this one to fix... Ooh, maybe I should tell this one to protect against the raiders, because ignoring shields is a pretty bad thing. Okay, let's see what the next threat is. Time warp! All threats recover 1 damage if I roll a 2. So let's roll the numbers. 3. Okay, so this one here, Space Pirates, attack and knock my shields down to 0 once again. But we have 5 dice on grid, which means the crew is able to hopefully work for me. Okay, well, we got a scan, we have scientist, we have tactical officer. Oh yeah, and we can fix the time warp. That's what we're going to do. Okay, time warp gets fixed. Tactical officer shoots down the drone. That's a good one. And time warp has been undone, so it goes to the discard pile. But new threat comes forth, and it is a nebula, which... This is interesting, because when you roll one of its numbers, the shields go offline. Oh yeah, and I get an engineer. I hadn't noticed that. Engineer should repair that. He's all running down. It's like the engines cannot take it. And the enemies say, oh man, I get a 1. Which means they do damage, and since the nebula gets weakened, it's fading, but my shields are still down, and that means I take 4 points of damage. That is going to be... yeah, that was just a terrible result all round. So I'm down to 1 point of damage. The engines are... The engineer's freaking out. The ship is falling apart. Everybody, we gotta pull together, otherwise we're gonna die. Everybody, we need all hands on deck. And what do we have? We have 2 medics, we have 2 commanders. Oh my god, what do we do? What do I do? I could make them tactical officers and eliminate, like, one of the threats. I could make them scientists. So, yeah. Oh, dear. Okay, so let's do this. Let's make him a scientist. And then at least we can regenerate the shields. I think that'll work. Or should I make them tactical officers? Or should I do stasis beam? Or should I fix the hull? I don't know. The pressure of being a commander. At least this isn't, you know, Space Alert. Space Alert is an amazing board game, but you need 4 players to play it. I think I'm actually going to change it. I think if we make them tactical officers, right? Let's do this. Then we can guarantee we deal with the threat, and that'll put us in. It's a gamble because, like, at least if we made them scientists, we could stasis beam this thing, but I don't think it would put us in any better position. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. We're going to do 3 points of damage, which means take that out of commission. Take, let me just see, what should I do? Should I weaken the nebula? No, let's weaken the space pirates by 1. Space pirates, come down here. But we still have to take a new threat card. And I'm terrible at this. Mercenary! It's a mercenary with 3.3 hit points. Okay. Oh man. I basically doomed myself. That mercenary... what's going to happen is if I roll a 1 or a 3, the space pirates hit me. Otherwise, the mercenary hits me. No matter what happens, I get hit. The shields are down. And the ship, the good ship Halcyon, goes down in a blaze of dice. Really, it's not really a blaze of glory. It's really rather embarrassing. You know, I've played this a few times on Tabletop Simulator and quite like it. Although, I'm going to say, if you've not played board games and you have $30 to spend, this may not be the best thing to go for because there are many other multiplayer games that are probably around the same price. If you haven't played it, Pandemic, you can actually play that as a solo game as well. Or obviously with friends. Playing with friends is great. Star Realms, fantastic card game that you and your friends can play. Anyway, yeah, take a look at the Kickstarter. I'm Scott Manley. Fly safe.